So hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. It's Black Mage Day. So we shall go into the Black Books. Back somewhere in Ul'dah. Guild's gotta be somewhere. Let's see. Looked to be... Maybe it's by the Thaumaturge's Guild? I feel like it wasn't. It felt like it was more... Yeah, down here. Where is this? This is at the marketplace. In between the Miners and Weavers Guild. I was gonna say, this doesn't look like it was gonna pop me out where the quest is. And it didn't. I think I did grab the level 270 staff. Yes, I did. Everything else is the old gear, but the 270 staff should make up for my current fashion trends. Ah, Bren, you've come at a good time. I've made a remarkable discovery, which I would share with you. After Master Kukura passed away... no. Kukuruka. After Master Kukuruka passed away, I went to his cell in the Marasaja pit, the cell in which he spent 100 years locked away. I doubted my master, and the guilt of it gnaws at my conscience. In order to atone, I decided to preserve the fruits of his research for future generations. Well, as I went about sorting through his personal effects, I found a most peculiar slip of parchment bearing a jumble of glyphs and sigils, which I instantly recognized to be a cipher. When I removed the cipher to reveal the hidden words, I could scarce believe my eyes. They described the whereabouts of two ancient tomes, the Books of Nald'thal. The tomes are said to contain the secrets of forbidden spells, and their existence has been hidden from even the Thaumaturge's Guild. Master Kukuruka entrusted you with his legacy. He would want the tomes to be in your keeping. Funnily enough, I'm doing Astrologan simultaneously in the background with this, and they're having me like unlock constellations. And the constellations seem to be potentially of the 12 Eorzean gods. So for this one to be allocated to the Thaumaturge Guild, instead of potentially Astrologan, if it is, I haven't discovered it yet, is kind of funny. The first tome is said to be at Nald's Reflection in southern Thanalan. Come, let us make haste and retrieve it. Milvaneth Sacrarium, dedicated to the worship of Nald, was excessively damaged during the calamity. Repairs continue even to this day, to the great inconvenience of our adherents. I wonder... Maybe I can only see astral constellations? Because of the hemispheres of the planet? I'm kind of curious if maybe the Thaumaturge Guild maybe has something similar, like with, constellations, but they're in another hemisphere? What hemisphere are we even on? Because I know the map I have is like, oops, woefully incomplete. Yeah, because we're on this little continent. So it looks like we're technically in a southern hemisphere, but I know this is like super duper frozen north, and the fact that I'm currently right here, I'm at this ball. The fact that this is a desert and it's hot, it's meant to be a parable to Africa. The fact that this isn't Arctic, but this is, implies that there's like a whole ass other hemisphere down there that we don't know about. I know there's supposed to be continents. I keep going to another screen. A continent over here. I think that's Dawntrail. And I know there's like more continents over here. Potentially to this side as well. I know Mihotes come somewhere from over here in like a mystery continent that I don't have access to. But it kind of makes me think if all the constellations we're currently looking at are northern hemisphere constellations, and that would explain certain astral and umbral magics, while maybe down here has like a totally different set. Anyway, just something to think about. Because otherwise this planet's very weird. It doesn't have poles. Because this is like the equator. And the other temperate zones being in the middle, both for this continent of Eorzea and for other continents, kind of makes me think there should be another pole, even if there's not land down there. But this Danaland is so far south, it makes it seem like it's closer to an equator in terms of geography. Anyway, this has been World Building with Bryn. I found the first tome, the Book of Nald. Tome, excuse me, I thought he meant tomb. It lay not a foam from where the parchment said it would be. But gods, I cannot stop trembling. My blood runs cold, simply imagining the havoc that could be wreaked with this knowledge within. Such power must be safeguarded lest it fall into the wrong hands. Let us make haste and retrieve its twin, the Book of Thal. It should be at Thal's respite. I was gonna say, you're just gonna leave that there? And Thal's respite is up here. Northern and southern Danaland. I know different areas developed various magics, so I know that, like, just looking at the continent of Eorzea, down here, I think, maybe developed black magic, or was it over here? One of these developed black magic, and then, like, one of these developed white magic. And then there was technically a third school of magic from Charlia that sort of minded its own business. Because Charlian is up here. It's this, section. It's this little island. What we currently visit in Dravania is just like a port of connection between them. It's not actually Charlian. Worth noting, I don't think I've ever brought this up either. The little Alamigo that we see in Thanalan down here is not Alamigo. They're refugees that fled from up here. So Alamigo is, actually it's a little higher. It's like here, from what I've been told, so. Yay! Geography, again, with Bren. So I'm just very curious, based on the layout, where constellations would actually be, and if we are technically only so far confined to the Northern Hemisphere. Because Astrologan is making me ask some questions. Alright, book 2. These just buried or what? Bren, the unthinkable has happened. Somebody already took it? The chest is empty. The Book of Thal is gone. Well, it's been buried for at least 100 years, if not more. Who could have taken it? Who else could have known? I mean, a random looter could have easily found it. Gods, if the tome's secret were to be used for evil, this is an absolute disaster. And my worries do not end there. Should the Thaumaturge's Guild somehow learn of the tome's existence, they'll stop at nothing to seal them away. That cannot be borne. Master Kukuruka spent his lifetime restoring the knowledge of black magic to the world. We cannot suffer any part of it to be lost. At any rate, there's nothing more to be done here. Let us return to the Sanctuarium and reassess the situation. There's nothing left for me here. Or maybe it's like Evangelion. We're on a planet whose axis has been tilted or was always tilted. So therefore, like, we have seasons on Earth because our planet essentially wobbles. So when it wobbles one direction, it's summer in the north and winter in the south. And when it wobbles the other direction, it's vice versa. In Evangelion, basically the whole kilter of a planet got thrown off, and therefore it was like always summer or winter in specific locations, and maybe that's the case here. Maybe we really are still on the southern side of the planet, but we're on a planet that doesn't wobble. How many moons we got? Because that's a question. Some of it could be based on the gravitational force of, like, the planets around us. I know we have one moon, at least, because Endwalker. But, part of the reason our own planet wibble wobbles is because we got hit by an asteroid so big that it created our moon. Milvaneth Sacrium, dedicated to the worship of Nald, was excessively damaged during the calamity. Repairs continue even to this day, to the great inconvenience of our adherents. Okay, you already said that. I'm sorry you had to see me lose my composure earlier. As I made my way back, I pondered the situation. When I found the chest, it was covered in a century's worth of dust. Some of that dust had been knocked loose by prying hands, and nothing had settled in its place. From this, it can be inferred that the tome was taken recently. Now, the tome we were able to retrieve, the Book of Nald, is enciphered by an enchantment. I think it's safe to assume that its twin benefits from like protection. I know Alice and Alphino have a similar book. Is it the counterpart to this one? Such a protection will not be easily circumvented. It will take the thief time enough, I hope, for us to track him down, retrieve the tome, and avert disaster. But enough talk. I shall make some discreet inquiries to the missing tome. Oh, and if you do not mind, I would like to hold the Book of Nald for examination. In the meantime, I suggest you continue your training in the dark arts. We may have need of your skills again ere long. Alright. Number 2. An unexpected journey. We get our ley lines. So now my feet are going to be even less mobile while casting. Bren, you come at a most opportune time. There is a task I would have you perform. In my search for the Book of Thal, I have drawn upon all my resources in the trading spheres. The tome has not appeared on the black market, nor has it found its way to a private collection. Are you sure it's being listed as what it is and not just rare obscure book found in desert? This tells us that the thief has made no effort to sell it. If we consider then the fact that he was able to open a magically sealed chest, we must safely assume that the suspect is a mage, and his interest in the tome is personal. However, the individual came to know the existence of black magic. It seems plain he seeks to uncover the tome's secrets. To what end is too early to say, but at the very least, we now have a lead. There is scarce few who share our knowledge of black magic. Your 3 beastmen friends who were present when Master Kukuruka rendered up his last breath, it may be that the thief's identity is known to one of them. Begin your inquiries at the Burgundy Falls. Find if Kazakcha has had any suspicious visitors as of late. Not you. Alright, back to where I just was. See if I even remember how to play Black Mage. I know, start with fire, add electric if it's available, chug some ice to get MP back. That's what I remember so far. Am I a witch or a mage? Technically I think it's more like a mage, although the black mage arts are closer to, like, traditional witchcraft than I would suppose the other, like, white or blue mages are, or red mages. Bren, I'm glad to see you again, my friend. What brings you here this day? Although, how you want to personally identify it, I suppose it's up to you, seeing as the whole setting is fantasy. That such tome should exist. But to answer your question, I've been visited by a suspicious man, and very recently, though visited fails to capture the nature of our meeting. Not a bell ago, a robed man appeared before me. Join me, he said, and together we shall master the dark arts, a dubious offer which I naturally declined, but no sooner had the words left my mouth than he unleashed a barrage of spells at me. When I could scarce believe it, I would swear that the spells he wielded were black magic. I warded off his attacks and countered with spells of my own, and he swiftly turned tail. All this happened but a short while ago. He cannot have gone far since then. If you wish to confront him, you would do well to exercise caution. Though he alone approached me, I felt the presence of others. Okay. Go search for a dude being weird and who can't take no for an answer. Somewhere here. There you are. It's a Mihote guy. With a name that implies I might already know him. What do you want? Wait, this aura. Yes, there is no mistake. You're a black mage, and you will lead me to him. Now, speak, or I will make you wish you had. But aren't you a black mage? I have no idea who you're talking about. Your confusion seems genuine. Perhaps you truly do not know. I fear there has been a misunderstanding. I'm not the villain who attacked the Amalja, but you do know about it. Nor does it appear you're in league with him. I see you're disinclined to believe me. Well, the truth of my words is easily verified. Let us go to Burgundy Falls and see your friend together. I wish to have words with him at any rate. Yeah, he's carrying a conjurer's staff, so he appears more like he might be a white mage. Also, hi. Hello to you too. Hope you are doing well. If anything, in the West, since so many consider witchcraft, air quotes, to be like herbs and magic, I supposed botanist could fit just as well. There's a misunderstanding that I wish to clear up. We meet for the first time, and that fact alone should suffice to settle the matter, but for the sake of formality, pray answer this question. Am I the man who attacked you? That looked almost like a nod at first. You are not. You bear scant resemblance to the villain. Now that the matter is behind us, allow me to introduce myself. I am here Zia Nelha of the Conjurers Guild in Gridania. Yeah, I know it was a staff. The Seedseer Council has sent me to find a man who wields black magic, the forbidden art of destruction. Yeah, black and white magic are at odds in this world. His trail led me to this area, where I chanced to witness him attacking your Amalja friend. Alas, the villain beat a hasty retreat, and I lost sight of him in the confusion. He approached me shortly thereafter. And it's not like good versus either evil, they're just opposing magic schools. You may not be connected to the man I seek, but you're a practitioner of the dark arts nonetheless. The aura is telltale, so you don't even think to deny it. You must also answer to justice. But I'm also a conjurer. Technically, I wield all the magics. The Books of Nod Thaw. Matron Preserve, I was not aware that such terrible tomes existed. This woman, Lalai, she may well know something useful. I will pay her a visit, and I expect you to be there as well. I take it you intend to continue searching for the mystery Black Mage. Though I doubt that his skill is a match for yours, he has proven himself unpredictable and dangerous both. Be sure to keep your wits about you. I shall go to Daza and Dozul Melak and appraise them of the situation. For now, you would do well to return to Lalai. Okay, back to the Sanctuarium. So far, no combat. I'm doing okay. We just had a lot of weather here these past few days, which prevented streaming. Even this morning, my power kept flickering. Just either busy working or bad weather. By the gods, it's as if she has no ears to listen. I promise they do. They're just under the hat. Thank Thal you returned. This man, who I've never seen before, charged up here and started berating me for meddling with forbidden arts. He had the nerve to call me a fool. Thrice! Aye, and I'll say it again. You are a fool, but the worst fool of all was your master Kukuruka. It's because of him that these miscreants are running rampant. Let me start again. I know that the Book of Thal, and I know that the people who took it, they call themselves the Defiant, and their sole objective is to master the art of destruction. I mean, I'm pretty sure they get farther with Gridania, but hey.
The man I have been tasked with finding is their leader. Waldiv is his name, and he used to be a conjurer of the Stillglade Fane. The man harbored a deep hunger for power, the power over those he had sworn to protect. In order to satisfy this craving, he began dabbling in the dark arts. Before long, however, his doings were made known to the guild, who summarily banished him. But as he left, he declared that one day he'll show the world the true power of black magic. For years we heard naught of Waldiv. Some of us dared to hope that his words were but wind. Alas, he has returned, and this could only mean one thing. He is ready to make good on his promise.
Gods preserve. Are you certain of this? That this Waldiv who has taken the tome?
I'm afraid so. It's no coincidence that the tome went missing at the same juncture the man reappeared. Even now, he continues instructing his minions in black magic, and every day that passes sees the cult grow into a bigger threat. If we're to move against him, we must do so now.
I had assumed that we were dealing with the lone mage, but if this is an entire cult, as you say, I will need to reconsider my plans. Ren, while you went about your investigation, I succeeded in deciphering a new spell from the Book of Nald. It should prove useful in the battles to come. I shall teach it to you forthwith.
You mean to fight destruction with more destruction? Pretty sure that's how it usually goes, even without magic, my dude. This can only end in tragedy, I tell you.
Listen to me, healer. Waldiv and his cult may be a menace to the realm, but Ren is nothing like them. Master Kukuruka himself entrusted them with his legacy. They will not misuse their power and cause carnage. On that, you have my word.
I cannot believe what I'm hearing. Were the situation not so dire, I would bring you to justice without a moment's hesitation. Fortunately for you, a greater threat looms over us all. We must cooperate if disaster is to be averted. Your connections have proven useful before, and they may do so again. If you learn aught of them, I will thank you to send me word. But know that I will not tolerate any interference in my investigation.
Gods, what an irksome, ignorant, insufferable idiot. To think that we must cooperate with him.
Got any more eye insults in there?
Heed not the mutterings of that stuck-up lout. We shall prepare for the gathering storm in our own way. Now where were we? Oh yes, a new spell. Ley Lines, it's called, and it will be a potent addition to your arsenal. When you go about mastering it, I will make further inquiries of the situation at hand. If there are any developments, you'll be the first to know.
Okay, so basically connects naturally occurring ley lines to create a circle of power which, while standing within it, reduces spell cast time and recast time and auto-attack delay by 15%. So if you're standing next to it, you can also bonk them over your head with a staff, but most of the time you want to be further away as a mage, just for reasons. So this allows me to cast faster. Duration, it lasts for 30 seconds, and it has 2 charges. Cannot be executed while under the effect of ley lines. Maybe cannot be. Oh, I can't lay down 2, is basically what it says. Or they potentially can't overlap with another black mage. You have gained the knowledge from the Book of Nald. And obtained ley lines. Hey there, DJT. We are starting up black mage. This is his first time calling her a fool. I think it's their first time potentially being called a fool. I don't think anybody wants to mess with that. A cunning plan.
Ren, I've received a letter from the 269th Order Medicant Daza. The Mughal reach extends further than I'd realized.
Further than most people realize, I think.
But that Daza would contact us suggests that something is very much amiss. I wait at Bronze Lake, it says, and no more than that. Though perhaps somewhat cryptic, the letter's brevity suggests a sense of urgency. Please hurry to Bronze Lake and investigate the situation. I shall inform Zahain Allah of this development. Though I doubt the fool can render much assistance, I give my word that we would cooperate.
I guess each one calls each other the fool. Okay, time to see the furballs. I do what in the funny hat group? This one I think just has, where do I? Yeah, there we go. It just covers my eyes.
I can't see.
I feel like Shion. Organization 13. So I just leave this one off, typically. It's still equipped, I still get the effects of it, but I kind of like to see my face in cutscenes. Okay, where are you hiding? See if I remembered how to do these voices.
Bren, I'm glad to see you. Pleased, happy, glad. Kasich Cha has told me what happened. This is grim news. Yes, yes, grim news indeed. The man Kasich Cha spoke of approached me too. Spoke of the Defiant. Said he wanted my knowledge, wisdom, insight, knowledge. I told him I need time to think. Consider, ponder, think. I told him to return later. When he returns, we shall ambush him. Yes, yes, a sound plan, I think. I told him to meet me northeast of Bronze Lake. I shall approach as normal, as bait. Bren, you lie in wait. Ambush. Hiding. Wait.
Oh, you mean the quest? Black mages have a tendency for big funny hats. They really do. It's been a thing ever since Final Fantasy I. And it obscures their faces most of the time. At least in older games. Provided they have a face. In some, they don't. They're very pink.
Are you the leader of the Defiant?
Oh, Dad, it isn't.
Are you the leader of the Defiant?
My name is Waldiv, and you are descended from the First Order Patriarch, Dagu, yes?
Dagu was my ancestor, progenitor, forebearer, ancestor. You know him?
I've had opportunity to peruse a fascinating tome left by Kukuruka. In it, Dagu mentions a confidant who assisted the master of his studies of the dark arts. I'm trying to see if I recognize the face. It also states that Kukuruka intended to entrust the secrets of his reach to those same confidants. I fully expect you to tell me about those secrets.
Then you are wrong. Mistaken. Incorrect. Wrong. I shall reveal nothing to the likes of you.
I'm a busy man, Daza. If you refuse to cooperate, I simply don't have time for you.
Wait, where are you going?
You might have made a powerful ally, but as an enemy you cannot be suffered to live. Find out everything he knows, then kill him. Suddenly anticlimactic. If you don't mind me asking, are you feeling better about the egg allergy thing? Yes and no. In some ways, I'm starting to get certain things under control, but I still have reactions to others. Still can't eat onions. It might be permanent. Autoimmune system did a whoopsie doodle. And I think it might be stuck.
Thank you, Bren. The Defiant didn't stand a chance. No chance at all. But Waldiv got away, fled, escaped, got away.
I can eat cooked eggs and things now, but I have to like really fully cook them to the point of, again, almost rubbery texture. Or if they're baked into something, then I can tolerate them. But I've kind of been afraid to try undercooked eggs in the West right now because we're having the whole bird flu thing and it's not being well managed. So for two reasons, I'm not really ready to try undercooked or runny eggs yet again. Were you a fan of onions? I don't mind them. It's just that here in America, they're in everything. Like anything that's even remotely slightly savory, if it comes pre-made, it has onions. And when you can't have a certain thing and it's everywhere, it kind of makes meal prep hard. Bren, Lalai relayed to me what happened. These men, were they the Defiant Mages? You fool! You killed every last one of them! How do you intend for us to question them now? I'm sorry, I fireballed a bit too hard. I knew this would happen. You black mages are quick to wield your destructive powers, but rarely do you consider the consequences. We must return to Lalai. Do not think I'll forget about what you have done here.
Were you not in full control of your powers? Did your magics run wild? Amok? Untamed? Wild? Whatever the case, I do know that you saved me. Rescued, protected, saved. Thank you, Bren. I owe you my life. You should hurry to Ul'dah. Much as you protected me from the Defiant, I suspect Lalai may benefit from protection from the Mihote. Yes, yes, hurry to Ul'dah.
Alright, back we go.
Stop Lalai and the Mihote from fighting, quarreling, bickering, fighting.
Yeah, since onion is used a lot as a seasoning over here in everything. Even places you wouldn't suspect it of being, because it doesn't taste like onion in the things it gets added to, usually in a powdered form. Which I don't react to as strongly, but so far I have usually still been reacting to. Garlic, not as much, though occasionally I still do. I'm still kind of in the figuring it out stage. But that also means a lot of stuff I've had to start making from scratch. You're finally here. I've gotten really good at substituting other herbs and stuff, like in soups, so I can avoid adding onion to soups. And they have turned out pretty tasty. It's just that it takes a lot of extra effort, and you can't get a lot of stuff pre-made like you normally would.
Bren, Zahai Nelha has been standing there, silently fuming, for quite some time now. What has transpired?
I think I accidentally did a murder.
So it was indeed Waldiv that stole the Book of Thal, and he's been studying the magics inscribed within. But did truly not a single Defiant survive? I somehow doubt that you are fully responsible for...
No, I think it might have been me. Like I said, I fireballed a little too hard. I care not for your doubts. I explicitly told you not to interfere in my investigation. If nothing else, this shows the bloody outcome of battle between opposing black mages. Hey, white mages can do just as much destructive force, pal. Fighting destructive power with more destructive power, as if there wasn't a war between us, is such thinking that led to the War of the Magi. I'm sure I needn't remind you of the outcome of that. I strongly recommend you give some thought to just how terrible a force you toy with. Basically, the schools of magic don't like each other.
The War of Magi. I suppose I cannot blame him for seeing the parallels. A war between forces commanding unimaginably destructive magical power. But black magic is not purely to blame. It was the violent confluence of black and white magic that ultimately led to disaster.
Don't forget the other colors.
It brought about the sixth umbral calamity. It's only natural that the risk of a reoccurrence of those terrible events would instill great fear. I know you would never be so reckless as to allow something like that to happen. The problem lies not with black magic, but with the Defiant. I'm disinclined to pay heed to Zaya Nelha's words when they run counter to those of Daza, who witnessed the battle firsthand. I find it hard to believe that you would lose control of your powers. There must be some other explanation for the deaths of those mages. It also seems that Waldiv is gathering something for a following. To better oppose his growing menace, I shall teach you a new spell I recently deciphered from the Book of Nald.
I mean, there was, during the Thaumaturgy event, people getting possessed by Void Scent, and when the Void Scent drained all the magic out of their bodies, they died. So maybe something similar is happening here? They're being possessed and then discarded?
Remember, black magic is not a thing to be feared. As a true black mage, you have the power to control it. I believe in you.
A face is subjective if you... Can't read emotional intent. If you can read emotional intent, you'd say that's a face. But it kind of covers my face, so you can't read any emotional intent unless I wave my arms and make certain pitches into my voice. Black Squawk down instead of Black Hawk down. Lies received another letter.
Bryn, I received another letter. Danger. Please help. Me hide in Alder Springs. Tell Bren. Signed, Dozel. That's all it says. The handwriting is barely legible. It doubtless goes without saying, but Dozel Malak is in need of our help. I shall have to tell, Zaya Nalha about this. Do not dwell on his previous outburst. I know you have full control of your powers. Use this opportunity to show that man the true and cunning finesse that a black mage can bring to the fight. Enough talk. Hurry to Alder Spring and save Dozel Malak.
So you've had to remove onions or ask someone to remove them for you. A lot of times, onions are cooked in such a way here that they can't be removed. They're already put in, like, sauces and stuff. So if you buy, like, a pre-made sauce or go to a restaurant, there's, like, no way to avoid encountering onions. So I've had to eat a lot of things from scratch made by myself. And I do most of the cooking around here, so occasionally my mom makes something, although she's not as good about reading labels, so we've had a few accidents. I guess when you're the one whose intestines aren't threatening to send you to the hospital. But still. There we go, down here. Alright, which one's multi? This one's multi. Thanks for waiting, boys! Oop, it's not ready. I keep forgetting that's not an auto charge. Okay, time for the switch. Now we do Blizzard until we are ready, and then we can Fireball again. And oops, accidentally dead again. Yeah, I said by voice. You can tell emotion by voice too.
Thank you, Bren. Saved Dozel's life you have. Kazik Ja tried to warn Dozel. Dozel panicked, tried to flee. But get caught Dozel did. Somehow know that Dozel was exiled from tribe, these mages did. So into the forest they chased Dozel. Finally they surrounded Dozel. Offered friendship at first, but rejected, Dozel did. They said if Dozel is not friend, then Dozel is enemy. But save Dozel you did. Many thanks.
Gods, I was too late again? You've already cut your swath of reckless destruction. Maybe you're just slow. What did you plan to achieve? How many more lives must you end before you realize how fruitless this is? Wait, these wounds. They're unlike anything I've ever seen. It looks like they were incinerated from the inside. Hey, that's how I feel when I eat onions. Bren, this was perhaps not your doing after all?
Of what does this man speak? Pursued Dozel for a long time, these men did. Tried to kill Dozel. Explain. Who are they? What do they want? Dozel understands now. Read the Book of Thal they did. Learned of mother of mother of mother of Dozel. Learned of her secrets. Dozel's secrets. Made clear their pursuit is. But these words, perhaps Dozel has an explanation. These men did not have the gem of Shatoto.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that she's in this. Shatoto is a mage from Final Fantasy XI. A very prominent character, or important one at least.
Dozel thinks that is what they did.
Gem of Shototo? Whatever are you talking about?
Gem is proof that Bren is true, Black Mage. Gem brims with magical power. Without the Gem of Shototo, impossible to control, the most powerful black magic is. Lost control, these mages did. Aether within their own bodies ignited, burned alive from inside. Painful way to die it is.
So these defiant mages fell victim to their own arrogance, using dark magics that far outstripped their ability to control them. So Bren isn't at fault.
The answers you seek, Dozel helps you find. But Dozel cannot stay here. Dozel must leave. Thank you, Bren. Dozel owes you debt of life. One day, Dozel will repay.
So these men were slain not by your hand, but by their own use of powers they couldn't control. But please understand that the fact that you can control your powers does not resolve the issue at hand. You should return to Lalai and explain to her what happened here. Please accept my apologies for my earlier accusations.
They exploded. They self-exploded.
Yeah, I forget what they're called, but Shototo is also Final Fantasy XI's equivalent of a Lalafell. Taru, I think they were called? I know it had Taru in it. It's been so long.
Bren, was Dozel Malak unharmed?
I see. Well, if nothing else, it seems that Zaya Nelha had no longer doubts her innocence. But the Defiant were immolated from within? If Dozel Malak's conjecture is accurate, the cult situation becomes quite clear. But I hardly need to explain that to you, do I? So you've noticed too? But if you were to explain it to me? Just in case I'm dense? I suppose for one whom these powers come second nature, some things are not so easily noticed. Sure, we'll leave it at that. The Defiance numbers cannot continue to grow indefinitely. They will have difficulty swelling their ranks when they cannot use their powers without the risk of a horrifying death by immolation. He means set on fire. Thus they strive for control over the dark arts, while showing themselves only to our beastmen friends in the hopes that they might reveal the secrets to controlling those magics. Fortunately, we've prevented them from learning anything. With those avenues now lost to them, Waldiv must realize that he's running out of options. Fortunately, we may lack leads from which to track down the Defiant. Their position becomes weaker the longer they wait. They will soon be forced to take action. There's no need to rush. We need simply to wait the enemy out. Okay, we get Enochian. Increases damage dealt by 5% while under the effect of astral fire or umbral ice. Seems to be just a background trait. Magic slightly stronger. You've gained the ancient knowledge from the Book of Nald. Explosion, level up. You kind of relate to your point, but except your health won't be affected and you just remove them anyways, so you're just making excuses for not trying out other ingredients. That's fine. If you don't like onions, you're not forced to have them. I'm just saying that I think when people hear me say I can't have onions, they assume I mean like only visible onions, like raw onions or stewed onions. Very obviously like chopped up in something. But I seem to react to all onions so far, slightly less to dried or powdered onions, but you can also find them in things like soup broths, where they're just juiced. It's just onion juice, but there is technically onion in that, and I do react to it. You'll find it in pasta sauces, so like spaghetti sauce. It's in a powdered form in that, or certain breaded coatings that you put on like fried chicken. Or chicken nuggets. If you've eaten a chicken nugget, that technically has onion in the chicken nugget coating. So I react to it. So yeah, it's in a lot more stuff than just like chopped onions. If it was just chopped onions, that would be so easy to work around. But onion powder is in just, like, absolutely everything savory. Chips, if you like flavored chips. Or crisps, as some people call them. Like a Dorito? Do you like Doritos? Guess what? It's in Doritos. Do you like Cheetos? They're in Cheetos. Do you like any sort of flavored, crunchy snack in general? Probably has onion powder. Destruction in the name of justice.
Bren, I just received word from Zahai Naha. He wants to speak with us. Apparently he has secured lodging at the Hourglass and is awaiting us at the Quicksand. We should head there now. I wonder what he could want. I suppose we shouldn't keep him waiting. At least not too long.
These two have a beef. It's not too far, actually. It is over by the inn. So I'll actually want to take one of these crystals. Should be one in here. There it is. So you're allergic to onions and eggs. Allergic to, at the moment, all onions and undercooked or raw eggs. I can have eggs in small amounts, provided that they are completely 100% cooked. No runniness whatsoever. I did react a little bit to a fully cooked egg a couple of times, but it seems to be getting better. But if they're baked into something, like let's say, yesterday I made cupcakes. Clearly there's 3 eggs in the cupcakes batter, but I don't react to it when I eat it because the eggs are so fully cooked that they're completely integrated into everything else. So it seems to only be the raw version I'm reacting to, which apparently is a thing with how your body processes the proteins of the histamines within the eggs. Same with onions. I still react to onions if they are dried and powdered because it changes the outer layer of the protein for how one is allergic to it, but unfortunately I do still react pretty strongly to dried onions. It's just that it's a strong reaction versus a nuclear meltdown reaction to the regular non-powdered onions, which is very bad. Thank you for coming so quickly, Bren. I have something to ask of you. Some time ago, the Conjurers Guild contacted the various cities of the realm, entreating assistance in the search for and capture of Waldiv. It seems that this has finally paid off. They just received a missive from the Temple Knights of Ishgard. The Defiant have been sighted at the Holy See. The cult has been trying to garner popular support there. They've been offering what they claim is the power to defeat the Dravanians to anyone who will listen. Now that Ishgard has opened its borders, it's no longer difficult to travel to the Holy See. However, I still know next to nothing about their lands. Please, Bren, would you lend me your assistance in tracking down this evil cult and bringing them to justice?
Sahaya, you've made no efforts to conceal your disapproval of we black mages and our ways. Are we to understand that you've now come to accept us?
That I have. The Temple Knights who provided us with this intelligence are stationed at the Ark of Worthy, within the city of Ishgard. They'll be waiting for us there.
Much though I would like to believe that he has a change of heart, men are not wont to change so simply. One does not live one's whole life hating black magic only to change one's mind over the exoneration of a single mage. I know not what this man is plotting, but I suggest you keep a close eye on him.
No, it's a dynamic I'm all too familiar with. Not saying you can't change, just saying that you shouldn't jump to trusting conclusions. Oh right, I'm in the city. I'm used to other parts of Ishgard being able to run around on my mount, but this is not one of them. You won't get away this time, Waldiv. You must be in the investigators from Gridania. It's about time. Someone needs to do something about this blasphemous cult. They're ranting on and on to anyone who would listen, offering the power to defeat the Dervanians. We Guardians have our own way of fighting. We told them as much quite plainly, but it made no difference. They continued their proselytizing. Obviously, such blasphemy could not be allowed to stand. We Temple Knights made our move, but they managed to get away. It hardly mattered to us at the time. They were no longer spreading their lies here, but they recently reappeared, and this time at the Convictory in the Western Highlands. Most convictors would do anything to earn honor and glory through the slaying of a powerful dragon. They're young and full of spirit, and naive. I fear that some among them may be deceived, seduced by the promises of easy power. Gullible fools. Well, our destination is clear. To the Convictory.
Question, does this count as heresy?
The cultists you have been sighted at the Convictory in the Kurthus Western Highlands. Which is all the way out here again. It's about equidistance, so I'll just choose the one that's actually here. Does black magic of the mage kind automatically count as Halone heresy? So yeah, if I eat a little tiny bit of onion powder, I'll probably just wind up with a upset stomach. But if I eat too much of it, which isn't very much, it's less than a teaspoon, or I argue it's probably less than a quarter of a teaspoon, or I eat something that's unpowdered or undried onion, like, I am violently ill within like 20 minutes. Or I can start to get like sores and stuff inside my mouth and down my throat and everywhere else. It's not fun. It's an immediate oh fuck reaction. So yeah, no onions. It's not a preference thing. It's a I don't like being in pain thing. There's no obvious sign of the Defiant here. We should split up and question the soldiers.
Basically, it's like getting a rash on the inside. 'Cause it is.
To the point we're actually starting to question if it's Crohn's disease, which is basically where your immune system attacks your digestive system. I already have other autoimmune disorders, so it's not completely out of left field for that to be the case. With all the symptoms I've been getting, it's partial allergic reaction, but it also could be Crohn's. I think I know what you're talking about. I told them I wasn't interested. Ancient spells are no match for a good spear at your side. And I'm in the process of getting diagnosed, but the funny thing about that, just like with gluten sensitivity, which is celiac disease, is that you have to have like a super mega bad flare in order to get officially diagnosed, because they need to like see the proteins within your blood or have like really, really fucked up internal organs, like to the point you need to be hospitalized in order to get the full official diagnosis most of the time. And I really don't want to get it to be that bad, so I've been controlling my symptoms to the best of my abilities, because Bren would really rather not go to the hospital. But as a result, that means I'm also avoiding getting an official diagnosis. You're going on about the Defiant too? Well, they spent a while shouting about how they'd share ultimate power with any who'd join them. Then they just left. Apparently, they set up camp over near the Swiftone River. What's the story with that lot anyway? Some Mihote chap was asking the same thing a few minutes ago. I told him what you and he and ran off right away. So yeah, I'm doing better, but it's still been one heck of a process. Those crazy mages. I spent years studying the art of dragon slaying. What kind of dragon slaying? I don't need some magical help from weird outsiders. I'll just make sure to tell them as such. But yeah, once you get something like this, you realize just how much one particular ingredient is in everything, and it drives you nuts. still need to try the hing. I haven't tried putting it in food yet. Mostly because I cook for my mom and occasionally some work friends, but that means they aren't always around. And I need to test hing specifically for the latex to see if anybody reacts to it first. So I need to do that. Prior to just like putting it in a whole dish and suddenly being like, hey, the whole dish is now suddenly inedible. Let's put a bit on our hands first, before ingesting large quantities of it and having a reaction that sends us all to the hospital. Because hing, similar to durian, has naturally occurring latex in it. And honestly, from what I've been discovering, so many dishes taste just fine without the onion. Like, you kind of get to a point where you don't miss it. You miss the convenience of being able to buy, like, an instant pasta sauce more than you miss actual onion in something you didn't even know there was onion. Switch to single target casting. Oh, dang it. That also means almost all instant food has become out of my reach. Oh no, there's more. Oh, I gotta get rid of the fishers, otherwise they're just gonna keep coming. They're attempting to summon. I see that! So it's been one big adventure in new cooking. Stand there. Let's cast freeze, get our MP back. Back to fire. It died. It died, so it canceled my cast. Wait, even more? Ah! I keep thinking I'm done. Dang you! Bird! Okay, now there's enough for potential group AoE if they get close enough. Let's target the fisher, please. Am I standing in orange? Who knows? I can't see! Oh, that's the one downside to mage classes. You have to hold still. Will these get close enough? No, they won't. Do you mind? Okay, at least we get a free fireball. That gets me my higher damage output. There we go, duty complete. I know what you must be thinking. I entreated your help only to run off on my own. But you know what happens when you get involved? You saw it happen just now. There's no choice but to fight back with all their strength. And when they do, they lose control of their power. And they burn. Nobody deserves to die like that. So I want to confront them alone. I'm a fool. My healing magic is no match for the destructive power they wield. Also, it's literally coming from the inside. We can work together. I don't mind you as much as you seem to mind me. We have similar goals anyhow. You're right. What did I expect to achieve? Challenging them without any help at all. Had we fought together, things would have turned out differently. You taking down the mages in a flash of black magic, me nullifying their every attack with my healing spells. I truly was a fool to assume all black magic was evil. I should have seen that such power can be harnessed safely, just as it is by you. Well, if it couldn't be, there wouldn't be any black mages now, would there? I apologize. We've lost our only lead, and this time it's clearly my fault. Please pass on my apologies to Lalai. My actions were unbefitting of a representative of the Seed Seer Council. I shall take my leave. I need to reflect on my actions. Alright, probably back to Ulta. Away we go! You don't even understand my body works, but you're really sorry what you have to go through. Hey, it's nobody's fault. It's just biology's weird sometimes. And I got sick with a virus that made it even weirder. Especially at your place, having onions everywhere at this point. Yeah, it's not really so much my place as it is my whole country. It's just that we have onions culturally everywhere in everything here. If it's processed and it's savory, probably has onions. Somewhere, in some form. Haunting me forevermore. I'd like to think my body could hopefully readjust to it, but that's something only time will tell.
Ah, you're back from Ishgard already. But where is Zaha Nelha?
He says he wishes to work together.
I see. If nothing else, you have stopped more poor souls from joining that accursed cult. I can only hope that Zaya Nelha can see it that way. The fact that the Defiant would travel so far as to Ishgard in an attempt to recruit new members speaks volumes to how desperate they grow.
What does that say of, Microdania? Oh, what's the other one? Starts with a G. Oh my gosh, it's stuck in my brain. The tech people. The Garleans, there we go.
Ah, Bren, I almost forgot. I was able to decipher the final remaining spell from the Book of Nald. Though you might not welcome an ice magic after the frigid winds of Kurthus, I'm certain you find this a frighteningly powerful addition to your repertoire. I doubt the Defiant can hold out much longer. They'll be forced to use everything they have in the next fight. They cannot risk being drawn into a protracted war of attrition. Should we defeat them, we can finally recover the Book of Thal and uncover the magics within.
Okay, Blizzard 4. Deals ice damage with a potency of 320. Grants 3 Umbral Hearts. I'm pretty sure Blizzard 3 already did that, though. Nullifies Astral Fire's MP cost increase for fire spells and reduces MP cost for flare by 1/3. Can only be executed while under the effect of Umbral Ice. Okay. It's a level 58 spell. I'm trying to see if this replaces anything or not. It seems like it's a whole new part of my grid. You've gained ancient knowledge from the Book of Nald. Ice cubes. Big ones. Which makes you feel really bad because there's people who literally can die from eating one thing, and most people who don't try to eat it because they just don't want to. I actually feel horrible about that fact. Well, hopefully it's not something that sends me into anaphylaxis where people stop breathing. It's not that bad, but if I eat onion that's not been powdered, for example, I'll feel really bad. It does give like a rash even on the inside, which is bad. It won't kill me. It did send me to the hospital once, but it probably won't kill me, but trust me, it's not a fun time either way. More faces. Wish for best of luck for you to prosper through this condition. But yeah, thank you. Autoimmune diseases. They weird and they not usually fun. Alright, last one. Malaya has learned the location of the Defiance hidden base. We get Fire for. As well as the Goetia attire coffer. So it has maybe some relation to the Void set, seeing as Goetia is a demon family?
Ren, your timing is impeccable. Just moments ago, Zahai Nilhal approached me.
Although I don't know how Goetia is necessarily going to be interwoven into this plot, I just know, like, in general, like Dante's Inferno.
He ran up to me, all fuss and flurry, and told me he had found out the Defiance base of operations. He then departed before I could respond. It seems that he's headed to the base himself. Though the Defiance forces may well be weakened, it's utterly reckless to approach them alone. It's as though he's learned naught from the incident at Ishgard. We should waste no time in traveling to the Defiance Den. Before he left, Zahai Naha mentioned that he was at the Burning Wall. I shall meet you there.
Sorry for all the face talk while you're talking about your condition. It's fine, DJT. As for what is a face, I mean, it is an interesting question. It's basically a projection of what we personally see as a representation of consciousness, even though theoretically many organisms do not have a face, despite the fact that they are receptive to things such as light and sound and touch. Would aliens even have faces? Who knows? Can they communicate through a method that uses senses that we do not have, such as electrocommunication? Who knows?
Zainal Hal is nowhere to be seen. I fear he may have already fallen victim to the Defiance destructive magics.
Or pheromones, that's another one. A lot of species like ants and plants communicate entirely through pheromones. They don't have faces. Well, an ant has a face, technically, but we consider a face even though it doesn't display emotions? Potentially through antenna, but maybe not. So therefore, does it technically have a face, or does it just have a projection of what we consider a face? A simulacrum, if we will.
We have no choice but to press on. If Zahai Nahel's intelligence was accurate, then Maldiv must be further down this road. Are you ready?
Or what about certain species of ants that have cumulative intelligence? By themselves, they don't have a ton, but since they can communicate through pheromones, they can actually combine their intelligence, almost as if they're a neural network themselves. Where are we going? Down the Burning Wall. I'm assuming they mean this way. And I don't mean like, oh, they work together as a group, which I mean technically they do, but I mean like, no, they literally function as a singular brain despite being multiple organisms. And once separated, they no longer have the same capabilities for thought. Life weird. Where is... Yeah, it's a whole new grid aspect. Blizzard 4 is its whole own thing. Not sure what to make of that. I think that one's far away. Enough away it's not hitting. It's not. Just do singular then. We gotta freeze to get our MP. you close enough to hit the other two? Nope. But you two are. Although it's still probably faster to do singles. And I'm not getting interrupted by blasters. Sorry for bringing up the condition talk. No, you're fine. It's not like I said it was an off-topic question or anything. Oh. What do you mean target on rage? Am I stuck? I'm stuck. Alright, Kerboof. Still... No, you're allowed to ask. Yeah, it's not a super touchy subject. If something is, I'll just outright say that I don't want to talk about it. We've reached the bottom. Maybe across? Can't tell if the lighting is different or if he actually changed the outfit. He went from a plum purple to a mauve. Waldiv, give yourself up. Your followers lay defeated. You have nowhere left to run. There's no need for me to run. The Great Summoning. The summoning ritual is complete. All shall congregate in worship of my might. I might not be powerful enough to rule this world alone, but with this void sent under my control, followers will flock from across the realm to kneel before me. You know, there is another class if you wanted that. It's called Summoner. That void gate, it's colossal. Whatever could he mean to summon? I mean, void sent come in different sizes, my dear. Waldiv, stop. Whatever comes through that portal, you'll never be able to control it. Barghest, I summon thee. Present thyself and be bound to my will. So it's gonna be a doggo. Well, doggo-ish. Perhaps it's now you who should run. Do you really think that the two of you can defeat me alone? They're not alone. Sorry, Barghests are usually more like doggish demons. Your evil plans end here, Waldiv. So I was expecting a Cerberus-like creature. Zyha, where were you? Fool of a mage, you lost to reason and shall be shown no mercy. Prepare yourself. Here we are, and at an end your schemes are. Men, we're here to help. Aid, assist, help. Yeah, we got a whole team. Bren, the lie, forgive my late arrival. I hope I'm not too late to make a difference. Now we could use a healer. No, you are inconsequential. Barghest, don't just stand there, destroy them. So, did you ever think you could maybe control what you brought through the gate? No, not me, them! No! Funny thing about Void Sent, they tend to not listen. A sorry end, defeated by the very creature he summoned. It ought to come as no surprise. He was playing with forces far beyond his reckoning. We can discuss this later. First, let's deal with this Void Sent. The purple mage trying so hard to act all mysterious. He's a little Junibio. I shall see to the healing. Unleash hell. Assuming is what he said. Poor Dolzol is the target of this attack. Sorry, friend. You get to be bait. I suppose it means I can potentially put down a ley line. We can cast faster. Right. MP. And fireball. It's being aimed at me. Which one's my shield? I forget which one's my shield. I grew another head. Be careful. It is a chimera. Has a head of thunder. Probably wants me to take that out. Why do I keep... Oh, I'm paralyzed. That's why I'm like, why do I keep getting interrupted? Because there's stuff messing with me! Didn't notice the fissures at first. Come on. Sorry, Red. Oh, did Daza go down? Wait, there's more. Let me target things. Just hit both? I can't tell. There's too many numbers. Okay, there we go. There's a planar fissure down. Oh, I see. The big ball of... Nope. Wait, no. That's not what I meant to do. Great. Now I have nothing. I have to wait a hot sec. Get my MP back. Nope, nope, nope. Another head. Destroy it. Multi-hits it is. Damn it! Quit making me move out of my circle. Gotta go around the dang blizzard sphere. Nope, I can't get it back. It's in the forever lost zone. Would somebody please Asuna the slow mage? Nope, I actually want... No! This paralysis is messing up my rotation. Need MP. Ah. Does it have any more heads? Yeah, it does. Make it stop! Damn it. I avoid one and I walk into another. His ice fields just will not go away. Stop! No! Okay, we're good. The whole ground became freeze-dried. There's nowhere to stand. Do you like how weighty the Black Mage spells look to cast? It makes them seem more powerful. Well, apparently they do hit pretty hard to make up for, you know, the timing.
You could not have arrived at a better time. We thought you were lost to us.
Did you think I had rushed in alone? What manner of a fool do you take me for? To think I would repeat so grave an error.
He not dead.
Do you two recognize each other or something?
For a moment there, I thought he might strike him.
I mean, it would potentially be deserved. But why? You're responsible for a great many deaths, and I have been tasked with bringing you to justice. I need you alive so that you may atone for your sins. Bren, Lalai, I owe you my thanks. First, I must see to Waldiv's incarceration, but once that is done, I shall return to Milvain's Sancreum and thank you properly. We actually have one that's going to jail instead of just dying. What a twist.
We too should return to the Sancreum. I'd hate to miss something as rare as a thank you from Zahai Naha. But first you should speak with our beastmen companions. This is a valuable opportunity to rekindle our relations with them. It'd be a folly to waste it.
Pretty sure I never unkindled them in the first place. Oh, someone's getting chased. There. Okay, they're backing off. One's here. They're all up here, I think. Yeah. Would the God of Darkness and Shadows, you alone are the Black Mage be a good line? I mean, heck, if you play the game, you can make your class as corny or as serious as you want it to be. That's the fun part about role-playing, you get to make your own character.
All killed, the evil Black Mages are. Done here, Dozel is. Dozel's dead, now repaid. Dozel is out of here.
This is well the man I was brought to justice. I harbor no regrets. Bren, my friend, though we may be of different lands, the bond we share cannot be broken. I hope that we all meet again.
The fight together again. It was a hard fight, but fun. Enjoyable. Satisfying. Fun. Until we meet again.
There is no sorrow in this parting. Instead, consider it a vow to one day meet again. For now, you best return to Ul'dah. Indeed, because we almost done! Whee! Yeah, I don't think there's anything temporary going on at the moment either. Like Little Lady's Day, for example, or other similar quests. Down the wrong way. It seems to just be brand new Moogle tomestones for farming Phantasmagoria tomestones. In anticipation of the next patch, which I think comes out in a couple days. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Waldiv has been placed under arrest and is awaiting sentencing by the Podules. Bren, thank you for all your help. The Book of Thald was among his belongings. Lalai, I entrust it to your care.
Are you sure? You've made your views on black magic very, very clear.
Our recent battles have shown me that the black magic itself is not evil. It only needed to be used the right way, in pursuit of the right goals. You've shown yourselves to be noble magi with pure intentions. I trust you to use the knowledge within this book wisely. That being said, I am a conjurer. Were I to witness black magic used with ill intent, I would not hesitate to take action. Even if it were you, Lilai, I would hunt you down without mercy.
Come now, Zaya. Can we have any fun?
You do well to forget that my order still considers black magic forbidden. And yet I wield both. But if there were more magi like you, I hope this might become the first step towards a world in which both healing and destructive magics can meet on the battlefield, not as enemies, but as allies. Okay, we get the Goetia attire, and Fire Forward deals fire damage with a potency of 320, can only be executed while under the effect of astral fire. How it works, who knows? Yeah, it's Moogle, still patch day. This concludes the Black Mage quest for Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. All done. Back in Black, number 2. Nightmare the Black. The power within you grows. I dare say it now surpasses that of even Kukuruka. How fare you of late? We have finally recovered both books of Naldal, and such fascinating books they are. The further I delve into this mysterious mysteries described within, the more I am awed by Kukuruka's devotion to the dark arts, and the destructive power that his devotion unlocked. I shall not let these grimoires leave my sight. I cannot suffer to see them fall once more into the hands of some crazed madman. The War of Magi is shown us the dangers inherent in these powers. So there we go. We should have more stuff. I know there's some stuff with Razadhan. I completed a thing. Not at Kurthus. Where is it? It is Stravania? Yes, the Idleshire. Here we go. I think this is the typical blue and straw hat look for the Black Mage. We shall see. I wish to grab something. I can't remember what building it's in. I want to say it's over here. Because I also want to have room for it, you know? I think it's up here. I think it's in one of these. Just gotta know which door I can go through. There you are. Slowy alley putty.
Thanks to you, I have so many Near Eastern treasures that I barely have space for them all. Fortunately, Zully knows many wealthy individuals who can hardly wait for them to take them off her hands. I'm so happy to say that your Near Eastern treasures have found no end of fans among the Ishgardian aristocracy. Why, with only the funds that have poured in this far, I can thus say that Benfina's arms will stay welcoming wide open for all. Well, at least the next couple of days or so. But Sloey's going to rest on her laurels? Perish the thought. Not when there are countless children still yearning for warmth and love. I can count on you, can't I, Bren?
Sure. Save you some of that pineapple juice and get you to eat something else.
Oh, thank you. This calls for celebration. Why, yes, I think I'll treat myself to that last bite of pineapple pudding I've been saving since last week.
Is it even still good?
If anyone deserves it, it's you, Miss Loey. You're always working so hard to put food on our plates.
Freshly made pudding don't last that long. Usually about 3 days tops.
Hello, who are you? This is Bren, a famous adventurer. They're the one helping Miss Loey turn her trading business around. You're an adventurer? My mommy and daddy are adventurers too. I wish you could meet them. Mummy and Daddy are the strongest adventurers I've ever seen. They're always keeping the people of Idleshire safe from nasty monsters, or at least they were. The other day, they were off hunting something called a elite mark. They said they'd be home by sundown.
I think she means elite mark.
But I haven't seen them since. Miss Loey says they probably got lost. Anyway, I was so scared and lonely all by myself, but then I met Miss Loey. She's been so nice to me, just like a big sister. Sometimes she forgets to unlock the door, or feed us.
Blowy!
But I know that just because she's busy. Right, Miss Loey? I just met you, but I like you too.
Dude, yeah, hopefully it's not because you think I'm going to do any of that.
Anyway, I'm gonna be going now. My best friend promised she'll tell me a story about dragons, and I just love dragons. See you later, Miss Loey. And Bren.
Explain.
That's to Keb. Just between the two of us. Search parties have been scouring the land for any sign of her parents, but nothing. I know I shouldn't get the poor girl's hopes up, but I simply haven't the heart to tell her the truth. Besides, Menfina may still work a miracle yet. The day after her parents disappeared, poor little Takeb rushed out from her home to the city gates. She waited there day and night, in the beating rain and blustering wind, just so she could greet her dear mother and father with a smile the very moment they returned home. When I found her, she was sniffing and shivering in the cold, and that was when my inspiration struck. I would start an orphanage, right here in Idleshire, take in all the poor children like Takeb who were crying out for a gentle helping hand. And that's why I must keep to the task. Menfina's arms must spread wider and wider, that no child need to know such pain and loneliness ever again. Isn't it supper time yet?
As my own stomach growls. Alright, we are affection level 2, I think. Seafood stew, stuffed chrysal instead of gisal. I can probably get materia relatively easily, but just in case. Oh, I maybe get all of it. Never mind. Satisfaction up for Zloe Alipo. Now considers you a friend of the orphanage. Is pleased with your efforts. She now considers you a friend to the orphanage. And yet there is still much work to be done before the finances of Menfina's arms are stable. To that end, Zloe Alipo has a new favor to ask of you.
Thanks to you, we're doing better than we were. At least Loey's paying the rent now, but I'm afraid to say Menfina's arms is still a long way from achieving true financial stability. Yet I'm pretty sure I see like a whole chicken on that table. So Zloey's got to thinking, perhaps we've been doing ourselves a disservice by limiting our dealings to the Ishgardian nobility, no matter how wealthy and generous they might be.
Yeah, I itches. 1 second. Ah!
That's why Zloey decided to look the realm over, and look big. I'm talking about consortiums, cooperatives, and conspiracies? Commiserations? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I found a promising new client, Master Gigiruju of Gigiruju Shipping. Have you been to his resort at Costa del Sol? They say the sun shines bright and the water's clear every day of the year. That rhymed, didn't it? Anyway, I had an idea. What sort of rare trinkets and treasures do you think might tickle the fancy of those who live in a world of endless summer? If you're thinking cool and refreshing relics from the bleak, blustery highlands of Kurthus, then I guess great minds think alike. Yes, this is the perfect opportunity to build upon the fountain we've laid. What do you say, Bren? Are you with me?
Probably dig up treasures in Kurthus. Satisfaction guaranteed. The custom deliveries list for Zloe Alipo has been updated. To view the list, speak with her and make a delivery.
Say the children are smiling more and more with each passing day.
6 remaining? Learn about custom deliveries. Oh god. Delivery requirements, satisfaction level, procuring, acquiring, increasing values, fish. I'm assuming it's just the same as before, but I need different things. So I need Kurthan souvenirs, ice stalagmite, ice stalactites. Hold on tight, the ceiling of a cave. This is not an ice stalactite. Yes, because mites are bottom. Stalactites hold tight to the ceiling. Tights up top, mites on bottom. And a ghost fairy. Let's see. A little sea urchin. An almost entirely transparent shellless mollusk found solely in the waters of Clearpool. So I need to go fishing, mining, maybe mining, digging. Anyway. Hello? What the heck? Welcome to the hard place, owned and operated by the illustrious Akiraga? Whether you've come to partake in the finest fare of our realm has to offer, or merely take an opulent ambience, you've clearly chosen the perfect destination. Your bemused expression does not escape me. What is he wearing on his head? Your mind boggles. With good reason, for my entrepreneurial genius exists on a plane beyond that of comprehension of lesser minds. I ask you, what is more important to a businessman than attracting the eye of his potential customers? I have attracted your eye, have I not? Consider yourself enlightened. Okay, Dr. Ratio. Alrighty. Lots of stuff technically around here. We'd be delivering through the whole town with this one. Well, gotta go get stuff from Kurthus in my own time. Get the satisfaction level up, and hopefully continue on with quest progress. Where is that darn bell? Because I don't want to open the coffer if I don't have room. We could potentially put some stuff in here really quickly. I say. You're full though. Okay. I can put the materia in here for now. I have been sorting some things, okay? Technically I can eat these. Do I still need the coin? I need 11 orb for another part of a quest. I can take that to the casino. Get all this Moogle stuff. Don't know when the heck I'm ever gonna use that. I need Benedia glass for crafting something else. I don't have multiples, I hope. Yes, I do. Ta-da! Clear up a spot. Anything else? Goetia attire, 11 weapon. I was gonna open that eventually and put it elsewhere. For style. How many craft scripts do I have per chance? I currently have commercial survival manual by 6 and engineering manual by 3. I had no idea how to use any of them yet. Okay, can I give the coin to the appraiser? Are you open for business? No. They are not. I might just end up getting rid of that since Chloe doesn't need it anymore. I can probably just toss this, the dated Razadhan coin. Oh, in the currency tab? These are hunts. I have Purple Gatherer script, 367. And I think I have enough space to open the thing now. Okay, there we go. They should have gone into the armory chest, so this will replace mostly my entire outfit. Not a fan. Big hat. Very big hat. Sort of cow pattern tights. Yeah, that's what they were wearing, but black. Anywho, we can change back now to warrior, just in case I need to kick any more butt. What else was there? I think there's Moogles. Yes, there are Moogles. We need to go follow the Moogles, which are... No, they're somewhere in this zone. I think they're probably like in the middle. Nope, they're closer to the zenith. They have to be in crafting. Have to be in... Could eventually get better outfits for this too. Make crafting a little easier. But I guess we shall see. The milk of Moogle kindness. Master Mogzin is monitoring you. Whoosh! Monitoring you over or mushing you over, didn't he?
Bryn, Terrison has been looking for you, Kupo. There's an important matter we must discuss at once.
Ah, there you are. I must say, the attitude of the Mogmenders is much improved. They've mastered the basics of stonemasonry more quickly than I'd anticipated, and the remaining ever eager to learn. Once the rubble has been cleared, we can begin rebuilding. Therein lies our problem, however. I'm afraid we lack the numbers to remove the debris on our own. I requested aid from the Mughals of Asa, but have yet to receive a response. Doubtless they're trying to avoid any kind of hard work. So I would ask you, my dear Mogzin, with bringing them here, I give you leave to use whatever trick you can conceive of to get these malingering Mughals to... Oops. Malingering Mughals to Barles.
You want me to fool Mughals? I've never done that, Kupo. Not successfully, anyway.
Do not be so quick to lose heart. You fail only because your ideas are half-formed, marred by compromise and poor planning. You must persevere in your efforts if you wish to succeed. It is the words of my house state, by the 100th blow. For a single strike of the chisel merely scratches a stone surface. It is only with constant effort that stone gives rise to bricks, to walls, and at last an impregnable fortress. Such is the power of will, of perseverance, of determination.
Well, perseverance, determination, I will remember, Kupo. Yes, I'll craft a trick so cunning they'll sing songs of it throughout Mogholm. Totally won't neglect to do that.
Ah, that's the spirit. You're a leader, and it is past time you took charge. Show the others that the Mogmenders are not to be trifled with. Fluff up that ego. However, while I've great faith in Mogzin, he is still yet to meet his full potential, which is why I must ask you to accompany him, Brem. Ensure he does not slip back into his old ways. Give that pom-pom of his a firm shake if you sense his will is wavering.
I'm sure there will be no need for that, Kupo. Nonetheless, I will certainly appreciate the company. Well then, shall we be off? We should begin by speaking with Mogup, the Moogle in charge over at Asa.
I know our Mogzin has grown, but I fear he still needs guidance, and I believe you're exactly the one to give it to him. For my part, I shall begin preparations to greet our new hands. Must find Kupo assistance. Okay, over at the house thing. Yeah, I'm just not as big a fan of the outfit. It's very poofy. I don't know if I'm big into poofy. At least not for myself. He is going to be up top.
Oh, if it isn't Master Mogzin, and the adventure I've heard so much about. I seem to recall a request of some manner from the Mogmenders. Oh yes, you required extra paws to help move rubble? That's correct, Kupo. The request was made some time ago, and still not a single Moogle has arrived at Barles. We can't hope to make any progress without them. Ah yes, who could forget such an unusual name? Of course I dispatched several Moogles the moment the missive came, but I'm afraid I may have sent them to the wrong location. Awfully hard to pronounce that name, you see. Why, I suppose they could be anywhere now, and without the provisions for a long journey. Oh, how dreadful, Kupo. All alone amongst the wild beasts, hungry and afraid. Curse my clumsy tongue, curse it. Could you help me find them? Please, bring them something to sate their hunger. I'm certain they would be most willing to help. Of course. An understandable mistake. I can scarce pronounce half the names I hear. Don't worry, Mogup. My companion and I will have the errant Moogles back here safe post-haste.
You think Mogzin is dressing like Final Fantasy IV Sid? I would have to have another look at Final Fantasy IV Sid. I know the bandana he's wearing is the one we get at the end of either blacksmith or armor as part of our outfit. Though I doubt I still have it in my inventory.
It wouldn't serve to go searching blindly. However, lest we become lost ourselves. No, we must discuss our strategy beforehand. Ren, let us confer down below. can see it now, the pom-pom shivering in fear. Please, you must do something. I would never be able to live with myself should they come to harm Kupo.
Where are you? Where did you go? Oh, I landed on you. Sorry, friend.
I'm right here. Does little Mog-Up know? I've already fallen for this trick. Twice! Why trouble yourself to get your own food when a gullible Moogle will deliver it right to you?
Moogle eats.
It would be a brilliant ploy if it weren't so overused.
Why not set it up as a service then? Make coins off of it.
And now we have our chance to... Why did Terracin say, turn the tables? If we can trick them into going to Barlez, I dare say they'd stay just as a sign of respect. Magoop and his lackeys are a clever bunch, though. How could I possibly get the better of them? If only we could use those fake Koopa nuts. But by now every Moogle in Moghome and beyond has heard of them, and rightly so. They're truly masterpieces, certainly not something I could ever hope to surpass. And there's no shame in that. Yes, why reach for the skies when a Koopa nut is hanging just within reach? Besides, Asa is far from Moghome. I'll wager Mog-Up and the others have heard nothing of your fake nuts.
Phrasing!
Well then, I believe this matter is settled.
Remember Terrace's words, Mogson.
Terracin's words, you're right. We must make my own trick. I almost did it again, didn't I? Well, not this time. This time I'll be the one laughing. This time Mog-Up will be the one too embarrassed to show his face at the harvest feet. Thank you, Bren. Terracin is right to have you accompany me. If you were not here, I would have given up before I remembered my special something that just might serve as the perfect tool for our trick. A very special something. I haven't got any myself, though. Certainly not in the quantity required. But there's one Moogle who might. Bren, come with me to Moghome, so that we can see to the council of the alchemist Moghan. Yes, it's all falling into place, Kupo.
Moghome. I remember a little bit what Final Fantasy IV Sid looks like. It's just that I don't remember the full outfit.
Bren, my apologies. I had to pick something up from Barlez on the way. I hope we didn't keep you waiting long, Kupo. The mighty adventurer graces us with their presence again, Kupo. And greetings to you as well, Monsoon. What brings you two all the way from Barlez? Mog-Up is up to his old tricks, but I mean to take the upper paw this time, Kupo. For that I require your most potent medicine. Most potent. Oh, and on the completely unrelated note, I brought you a gift.
What kind of medicine, Kupo? I have an idea and I don't like it.
Well, I certainly can't just give you Kupo nuts. And larger than any I've ever seen. More so than those of Chieftain Moglin's Secret's Reserve. You're always being a stout supporter of the Mogmenders. I just thought I should express my gratitude.
These are the fake ones, aren't they?
Of course, I understand, Kupo. I wouldn't dare decline a gift from you, Mogson. It is only a gift, yes. Why, Moghan, you wound me. I would never intend for it to be anything else. Totally not a bribe. Ahem, Kupo. Lifting stones is dangerous work, and it would be dreadful if anyone was injured, especially so far from home. You shall have your medicine, Mogson. Practice caution, however. Too much and you may do more harm than good.
Right under the king's nose.
I promise to be responsible, Kupo. Bren, I believe we are finished here. I'll meet you back at Asa after finishing some final preparations. I'll try not to be late this time.
How to sabotage from both ends. Which might also be what happens if they take that medicine.
I have a medicine for whatever ails you, but you might be awfully sick to use the medicine I gave Mogzin.
What kind of sick? What's it do? What is it? I mean, I have a guess. It's not gonna make them regret ordering food, is he? No, it's up top. I went down below.
Here's your Koopo Eats, damn it! Finally, you're here. Mug-Up looks so smug, doesn't he? How goes the search? I've looked up and down under every rock and behind every bush, and can find no sign of the poor Moogles. All the searching has made me terribly thirsty, by the way. Now I know how the others must feel. It's tearing me apart, Koopo. Mug-Up, enough. I surrender. I must say your every trick is more impressive than the last. This one was too impressive, in fact, that I bought a bounty of Koopo nut milk to give to everyone.
So I guess you can turn it into milk, just like almond milk.
Mugzin's been outsmarting me again, Koopo. You must really stop making this so easy. There's no sport in it anymore. However, we will gladly accept these libations just as reward for your ingenuity. Time to call the others.
Which is really easy to do, by the way, if you're ever interested in making, like, oat milk or almond milk. It's so easy.
Did you see, Koopo? Mug-Up is none the wiser. He thinks it's just regular Koopo nut milk. But we know better. Oh, I can scarce believe that I, Mugzin, am finally about to trick Moogles. Come, Bren. Mug-Up will soon get his just desserts.
What is it? Now that I know it's basically almond milk, I'm even more confused what it could possibly be that you snuck in there. I mean, obviously, first thought goes to a laxative, but still. Is that it, or is it something else? Something more sinister? Oh, is it booze? Why do you package your milk as booze?
Bren, quickly! Mug-Up and the others are just about to partake of my special milk.
Phrasing, Koopo.
Mugzin has been tricked again, and not for the last time. In his humbleness, he has rewarded our surpassing cleverness with a bounty of Koopo nut milk. Drink deep, my friends, and bask in victory! Any moment now, Koopo. Ah, there's nothing like a nip of milk after a... What is...
Oh dear.
Koopo? Impossible. Mugzin, he couldn't have.
Is it sleeping powder? Or is it alcohol? I can't tell.
What's in the milk, you ask? A few pinches of the crushed cloud mallow seeds. In large enough quantities, they put Muggles into a deep sleep.
Melatonin milk?
Once they're dozing soundly, I need only whisper in their ears to complete my plan. Look, Brendan, bear witness to Mugvender's guile.
But if they're asleep, will it really do anything? Giving them nightmares, perhaps?
A working Moogle is a happy Moogle, Koopo.
Oh, he's hypnotizing him. That's what he's doing.
A working Moogle is a happy Moogle, Koopo. From sunup till sundown, you work up a sweat with nary a frown. From sunup to sundown, we work up a sweat with nary a frown. Ah! What ho, friends! Isn't it a perfect day for backbreaking labor? Who needs rest? Not I, Koopo. Who wants to sweat? Me! Me!
Are they sleepwalking? I don't know how to tell you this, Mog, but ambient people do not make for good workers. Do not operate heavy machinery under influence.
Victory, Koopo! I doubt Mug-Up will dare try to trick me again after this. And now to reap the rewards. Let's return to Barles and see what Moogles hard at work can accomplish.
Will it accomplish anything? They are sleepwalking. Yeah, Sid is technically a recurring character, but he's different in every single Final Fantasy he's in. It's more of a recurring name and theme than it is an actual individual person. That don't look like it worked, Kupo.
A working Moogle is joy, sweat, so much sweat. My pom-pom, it burns from sunup till sundown. And it's terrible. We'll never get the rubble cleared, Kupo. Lockup and the others began working eagerly at first, but then they collapsed after carrying only one rock between them. I know they aren't used to hard work, but this beggars belief. Perhaps all is not lost, however. When a Moogle's in such a starry state that the only cure I know of is more cloud mallow.
No, there's only so much depressants to put in a system at once. We do not overdose, Kupo.
Mount to mallow and sprinkle some puffs on these Moogles, and their palms should perk right up. Just ask the Moogle guard guarding it to ride. I'll be looking to the skies. Perhaps a few errant puffs will blow my way, Kupo.
Wait. This is the mallow? Is these puffy things? Does that mean King Mog is high, like, all the time?
Say no more. I know exactly why you're here. Just shake your rump a bit and rain mallow puffs on the poor Moogles, and they'll be right in tip-top shape. Come on, I'm sure the mallow can support your weight.
Doesn't affect people, do it? What a weird mount. What a weird mount indeed. I am riding a dandelion. Anyway, can I descend a little further, please? Nope, I guess not. Wakey wakey, Kupo!
I seem to recall being tired? Impossible. Inconceivable. Why, I dare say I could clear the road myself. A working Moogle is a happy Moogle, Kupo.
Or maybe the seeds are downers and the pollen is an upper? Still, you're not supposed to mix those. Because it can send your brain confusion signals and your heart decides, you know what, I don't want to even try anymore, and it quits. So do not attempt IRL.
From sunup to sundown, we work up a sweat with nary a frown. Master Mogson is a max trickster, Kupo. But even though I know I've been duped, I'm not angry at all. There's no reward greater than the soreness that comes from hard work.
Apparently the hypnotism is still in effect.
The mallow puffs seem to do it, Kupo. If they keep this pace, then the rubble should be cleared in no time. And what's more, now that I've hoodwinked a Moogle, I'm sure to earn some respect around here. I am a master of the Mog Menders, after all. Terracin, Bren, if not for your support, I would have given up long ago. To see my efforts succeeded at last, I've never felt the sense of accomplishment before. You have my thanks.
Brilliant, my dear Bogson. Remember my words, and your conviction shall show through the quality of your craftsmanship. I will most certainly
will, Terracin. Your words will guide me in both my work and my studies.
Do I get to pick? Gathering or craftsmanship? Probably craftsmanship, because that's what I struggle with the most. At least with gathering enough points to even be allowed to craft. I'm fine with crafting, it's getting the points for it to let me. Looks like we're maybe getting a smithy zone. Thanks to your efforts, the rubble has been cleared from Barles. Continue assisting the Mog Menders to see repair of the plaza completed. And they're just knocked unconscious again. The way the player is placed on the mount, too, is funny. I mean, how else am I supposed to hang on to it? On the stem, maybe? And then I come down like Mary Poppins style? You have achieved recognized reputation with the Mog Menders. New Moogle Society daily quests are now available from Mogek the Marvelous at the Plaza. Furthermore, you'll be able to undertake these additional quests from Mogek the Marvelous as a reputation rank bonus. This bonus is available until the daily reset time for Allied Society quests. You also have a wider range of wares. By the 100th blow, long have I been the words of my house, and long have they inspired our crafters. Now they shall serve to inspire an entirely different group of people.
Greetings. Rest assured we're working until our muscles can take no more, Kupo. Is there anything else you wanted?
Tell me about yourself.
Why, you know me. I'm Ogson, Master of the Mog Menders, who are in charge of restoring splendor to the zenith. We have a long road ahead of us, but there's no harder working group of crafters in all of Moghome, Kupo. Well, obviously we still have much to learn, but I'm sure with your help even Chief Moglin will be impressed with our skills. Barles is a ruin from over 1,000 years ago, with landlords and skylords living in harmony. Its restoration is the Mog Menders' first duty. Not long ago, the plaza was buried under a mountain of earth.
How? We're in the sky.
But one day, a perceptive Moogle noticed a piece of the wall jutting out from the soil. After many grueling days of digging, we finally uncovered what you see before you.
How can there be an avalanche? We're on a sky island. Nothing is above us.
Although the repair of the plaza is sure to be a massive undertaking, the lessons we learned along the way will certainly help us in the future. And so we will work day and night to restore Barles to its former glory.
Here we go, Kupo. Well done, Kupo. What time is it? Almost 6. So I'm probably running short. Unavailable time, so we shall return to pick a town, any town. Zoop. Those crafting gatherer scripts should allow you to buy some nicer crafting and gathering gear. Here's hoping. I just still need to actually look up what they do. Seeing as I'm using my A Realm Reborn gear. But yeah, there we go. Black Mage is done. It means we'll probably start working on healer classes next if I have my tables memorized. Let's see. Yes, this. Okay. Next is White Mage. Then Scholar. I might flip those around depending on what I'm in the mood for, just because I use Scholar a lot in my own time, so it might be nice to fully increase that to do higher level stuff. Summoner and then Machinist and Dark Knight are both done, and I'm currently working on Astrologan in my own time. So we are making significant progress there. And once class stuff is done, I'm going to be doing hunting and gathering and fishing in between. I've yet to even start fishing. I keep forgetting fishing is a thing. I'll be doing those in between other part 2 of Heavensward quests anyway, so they'll be interweaved between MSQ. Since I don't have as big of a rush with them, seeing as I need to take the time to gather materials to level them up to begin with, and it's not a simple, easy process. Since I need to do just a whole lot of background grinding and obtaining items and crystals and yada yada. But for now, this is where we're going to call it, because we have made the progress that we want to make, and I can start working on more beast quests, or society quests as they're called in Heavensward, in my own time. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined, and I hope to see you all in future streams. Bye-bye!